Hey folks, it's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Tuesday, it's October 3rd. I hope you're well. And in this video, got an exciting one for you today. We're going to be discussing condo sales falling in Canada, except two of Canada's major markets. And spoiler alert, Alberta is once again an outlier. I've been talking about how bullish I am on Alberta real estate, specifically the condo market. I'm actually in the process of buying my fourth condo in less than 2 years here in Edmonton, Alberta. And I've got an article that kind of hits that point home even more here today. But very exciting news. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never buy or sell anything based on anything I say. But before we get to that article and more, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or whenever I go live. We cover primarily on this channel MJ stocks, and then secondly, crypto and blockchain, and we cover real estate and a bunch of other topics as well, but real estate probably being less than 5% of my content, but certainly something that I'm very passionate about. It's how I was able to really become financially independent. I had two properties in Prince Edward Island on the East Coast that over doubled in less than 10 years. And I had a buddy of mine that actually bought a house and within 2 years it over doubled, right? So a lot of people think real estate's a long-term game, right? 10, 20 plus years, but that's just not true. Depending on the market conditions and the geography, right? You can really start to see some life-changing wealth quickly, especially if you have cash flow. If you're an income property and you're seeing the appreciation of the value go up and you're cash flowing based on renting it out or whatever you're doing, the short-term rentals, it's a way to double dip essentially. And that's what I was able to do in PEI. And like I said, very passionate about this industry. And a lot of people in stocks and things like that in crypto are looking for 5 to 10x gains, right? You're looking to 5-fold your money or 10-fold your money. Whereas in real estate, all you need to do is 2-fold your money, just double your money, and it can make life-changing wealth, right? So that's why I love real estate, and I'm more in the short-term real estate game. A lot of people think it's a long-term game, but that's just not true. Make sure to give Pow Group a follow on X as well, which is previously Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Also got my blue check mark, so it's a verified account now. Just be careful of spammers. Never ever never listen to anybody that doesn't have that blue check mark there. So again, the handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. I've been posting on that a lot more lately, and going to be using that as a way to get out real-time updates to the community. And I really do love each and every one of you who supported me along this journey. But here's a playlist. So if you go over to my YouTube channel and you just click on playlists, you can see here all the different ones. Real estate is there. I've got about 14, so this will be my 15th video on real estate. And you can see here tons of stuff here. I talk about my real estate portfolio game plan for 2023. I talk about whether or not I should start an Airbnb or not, short-term rentals and VRBO. So I did start Verbo, I did start Airbnb, so I did decide to go ahead with that. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my entire life. I talk about my next big investments, the downtown Edmonton condo market, and you're going to see with this article here today from BNN Bloomberg why I was so focused on it. And it's funny how you start to see all of the media start to kind of basically reiterate what I've been saying for the last 2-3 years. So that's pretty much why I moved to Edmonton as well, is because of the amount of opportunity here. Living is so cheap. You can buy a condo anywhere from like $50,000 to $100,000 Canadian. So if you're in the US, that's like, $35,000 or $40,000 to, $50,000 or $60,000 US, which is insane. And we know affordability and affordable housing is in every second article that you see online, right? And apparently there's going to be 1 million new immigrants coming to into Canada in the next year, and PEI and Alberta are at the top of the list of highest, and then interprovincial people coming here as well, right? So a lot of people from Ontario, a lot of people coming here from BC as well, and it's just insane. Like if you go to Toronto or if you go to Vancouver, you're paying anywhere from like $2,000 to $3,000 for a 1-bedroom plus 10 to 15% sales tax, and it's just ridiculous. Like 60-70% of your income is going to living expenses. Here in downtown Edmonton, you can get a 1-bedroom condo, no problem, for anywhere from like $1,100 to $1,200 Canadian a month. You can get a 2-bedroom for like $1,500, right? And then there's only 5% sales tax, and gas is super cheap because it's oil country. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. But I go into detail in this playlist on a lot of the real estate market and my plan and what's to expect in the next couple of years ahead. And then I also talk about my short-term rental endeavor as well. And speaking of which, if you go to the links in the description, if you go to my POW Group YouTube channel, click on About as well. All of these links are trusted and vetted links, and they're affiliate links, so I do get a kickback. But I'll put the link to this for Airbnb referral in the description box and in the comment section. You can actually get money for signing up using my link. So if you become a host, you'll actually get paid money, and you can earn an entire home. You can see here you can earn up to almost $2,000 a month. In some cases, I make double that just on a small condo, right? So I just would never look back. I can't believe that I never even had one before, a short-term rental, right? Airbnb. I can't even believe that I thought about not doing it and going the long-term route. I have some tenants as well, like long-term leases and things like that, because not all condos allow short-term rentals, right? They want long-term rentals. But I look back now and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I even thought about whether or not I should do this. Like, this was a no-brainer. But yeah, I'm super bullish. I'm making anywhere from 300 to 400% ROI and cash flow on my properties. And like I said, you can use that link if you are interested in becoming an Airbnb host. You'll also get a kickback as well. So, and I appreciate anybody who does use my affiliate and referral link. So here's the article here from BNN Bloomberg. Condo sales fell in all but 2 of Canada's major markets this year. And I'm pretty sure you can expect what markets those are. We'll go through it here. Sales of condominiums across Canada fell in all but 2 major markets in the first 8 months of 2023, according to a new report which predicts the slowdown will continue into 2024. And why do you think I didn't move to Toronto or Vancouver, right? My buddy's a real estate agent in Vancouver. I was with him on some showings, and this couple, they were priced out of the market. They went to the cheapest condo they could find. It wasn't even downtown Vancouver. It was like $400,000 for a shoebox. Didn't even have parking. It had street parking, had 1 bedroom, and it was only like 350 square feet, and the bedroom wasn't even big enough to put a king bed in it. So it was just ridiculous, right? Like, I can't believe people actually pay this. No AC, so no air conditioning, and they wanted $400,000 for it. It's like, are you kidding me? I wouldn't give you 3. I wouldn't even give you 2, probably. Just insanity. The RE/MAX 2023 National Condominium Report released Tuesday examined dozens of communities in 7 of Canada's largest population centers. It found that only Edmonton and Calgary have seen a year-over-year increase in condo sales so far this year. Interesting. How did I know? How did Rod know? How did Rod create, why did I create a real estate playlist? And how did I know? I said my next big investment, the Edmonton condo market. This was years ago, right? And then if you scroll down, Edmonton and Calgary top search real estate in Canada. And then Canada's population surges on 46% jump in temporary residents. And again, Edmonton and Calgary are at the top of the list. So again, once you start to realize how markets work, and you're not just like married to one area. And I understand people have their home, and they grew up there, and I grew up in PEI all my life, and I never wanted to move. But once I moved, it was the best decision of my life, right? So, and then once you work from home and you can, you work from a laptop and you have financial independence, you can really start to, compound all of this quite exponentially, right? And it's easy to tell this once, like, the market figures itself out. Prices can't stay irrational for too long, right? Because they'll just figure themselves out. Why do you think I moved here, right? And not Toronto or Vancouver a couple years ago? Because that'd be stupid. You're just pissing money into the wind, excuse my French, but it's true, right? Whereas you can move here, you can buy a condo for anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 all the way up to $500,000 to $1 million. But, what you would get here for $500,000 for a condo compared to like Toronto or Vancouver, again, you get a shoebox or you get a palace right here in Edmonton. So I'm very, very bullish on this market. But otherwise, sales fell in Greater Vancouver, no surprise, Fraser Valley, and Greater Toronto Area, Ottawa, and Halifax. Again, I moved out of the East Coast where Halifax was, right? All of these areas just were due for a massive come down. Like, my buddy bought a condo, not even in Toronto, it was like Mississauga by a highway, and it cost him like $500,000 for a 1 bedroom. Like, come off it. Like, that's not sustainable. And rising interest rates, right? Inflation, cost of food and gas, everything going up, right? It's just not sustainable. The president of RE/MAX Canada said national condo sales were a mixed bag this year as the market saw momentum in the second quarter and again in September following an interest rate pause by the Bank of Canada. And what do you think people are going to afford, right? People can't afford a $500,000 or $1 million home, so they're going to look at condos as the next best thing, right? The most recent inflation numbers extinguished the flame, said Christopher Alexander in a press release of the report's findings. Lifecycle sales will continue to contribute to steady activity, but a comeback similar to that of the second quarter is likely out of the question. Outliers in Alberta. Despite falling sales across much of the country, Calgary saw a substantial 22% increase compared to the first 8 months of 2022, while Edmonton sales edged up 3% according to the report. And again, Calgary, I've said this many times, Calgary prices weren't as low or as beaten down, and Calgary is more of a desirable place to live because it's close to the mountains, it's close to the US, it's a little bit more desirable. You got better weather and things like that. It's not as cold. It does snow a lot more in Calgary, but again, I figured that Edmonton would likely bottom after Calgary, and then Calgary would recover quickly, but Edmonton will be the next best thing. And I'm already seeing a ton of people from Calgary talk about moving to Edmonton as well. So we're starting to see the reverse of that, whereas a couple years ago, people were moving to Calgary. Now we're starting to see the flip side of that. Calgary's starting to get expensive, but that's just good for Edmonton will follow after, right? But they sales in Edmonton edged up 3% according to the report, and I mark my words, over the next couple of quarters, that's going to increase substantially. Remax also cited interprovincial migration as a significant factor in Alberta markets as condo affordability and lower living costs drew buyers from more expensive provinces. I can't tell you how many Uber drivers and waitresses and waiters that I've seen that said, I moved here from BC, I moved here from Ontario, and every time I ask the Uber driver or a new waiter, why'd you move here? Living is cheap. Right? They don't even know anybody here. I didn't know anybody when I moved here, right? I had like one friend, right? And he was barely ever home. He works on the rigs here in oil country, right? I moved here, didn't know anybody. And now I know a ton of people, right? So again, it's just most people don't want to go where the opportunity is because they're either reluctant to change or, they don't want to step out of their comfort zone. But there's definitely dividends to doing so. In addition to welcoming 35,932 new international migrants so far this year, Alberta became home to 15,786 interprovincial migrants, the highest level since 2000, the report said. Both Edmonton and Calgary are expected to see upward pressure on condo values in the near future as demand continues to grow, the report added. So I'm excited. Let me know if you're excited. And if you're not getting into the condo game, I highly encourage you. Again, not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own due diligence and research. But certainly consider Airbnb. I use Vrbo as well. I'm going to be setting up booking.com. Google Travel's coming out as well. So I'm going to be using all of these different platforms as well. But Airbnb, by far the most popular. If you're wondering how many like Vrbo bookings I get compared to Airbnb, it's like 95% of my bookings are on Airbnb. So that's where 95% of my effort goes. But if anybody has any questions with regards to setting up, your home, you can do a room, you can do a shared room, you can do a private room, you can do a condo, you can do an entire house, right? You can do a basement suite. You can live in the basement right out the top part. So there's tons of options. But yeah, if anybody has any interest in that and has any questions, I've been doing this for over a year. I'm a host. I've got 93 reviews. In I'm doing it for 13 months. I've got 93 reviews and I've got a 4.93 out of 5 host rating. So almost perfect. And like I said, people are just ecstatic with the service I've been providing them, and it's not that difficult. It takes a little while to set it up, but like I said, monthly potential. You can earn anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, which I'm making anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000, and my expenses per month are only like $1,000. It's insane. So again, check out the description and the comments section below if you want to click on that link and become a referral. And again, you do get a bonus as well for signing up. It'll all be detailed in there once you click on the link. But certainly give it some consideration because, like I said, the value and the value proposition of buying a condo near rock bottom prices, when that article I just showed you has been saying what I've been saying for the last couple of years, that we're probably going to see continued upward pressure in the condo market in Alberta, and specifically in Calgary and Edmonton, right? Then wouldn't you want to own a condo, see the appreciation of the value go up, which I mentioned in my real estate portfolio game plan 2023. So not only do you benefit from the appreciation of the value of the home going up and the condo going up, you can do short-term rentals like Airbnb, and there's only a certain number of buildings that do so. So I can help you with that as well, but you'll have to look into that. But you can start to make, 200, 300, 400% ROI and cash flow on your investment as well in your short-term rental, or you can lease it out, right? You can rent it out long-term and then pay your bills and hopefully have a little bit of cash flow. But short-term rentals, you can have like 100 to 200% cash flow. It's crazy. So yeah, certainly consider it. And I'll do my best to help when I can, but you'll double dip. You'll appreciate off the value of the condo going up, and you'll also cash flow on the monthly short-term rentals or long-term rentals. So it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, share it around to your network. I would appreciate it. Smash like if you think I earned it today. Subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll keep you up to date. But hope you have a great day. It's Rod with the Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.